Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Wednesday, the 20th of December 2023. In today's Millwall news, we start off with this from the suffolknews.co.uk. Joe Edwards gives insight into his tactical thinking after formation and personnel changes in recent games for Millwall. The Lions boss has used the wing-back system in the club's last two matches, but says the philosophy remains the same regardless of the team's shape. Joe Edwards said he was trying to put goals on the pitch by deploying a back three formation against Huddersfield. The Millwall boss has switched between a back three and back four depending on the game during his 7 matches in charge so far. The return of the back three allowed Zion Fleming to start behind strikers Tom Bradshaw and Kevin Nisbet. The first time this system has been used since Gary Rowett was in charge for the 3-0 win over Rotherham United in September. Edwards believes the system would help the Lions scoring chances against the Terriers on Saturday, with the match ultimately finishing 1-1 after a late Huddersfield penalty. I think they had more shots than us as well, so that didn't really work, did it? Asked about playing with the wing-back system for both the Leicester City and Huddersfield games, the Millwall head coach told Nizzet, if I'm honest, it goes hand in hand with playing a lot of games in a short space of time with varied opponents. I've obviously changed the system a few times since we've been in, and I would be more than happy to admit that I'm still looking and sussing out what's the best system for this group. What I would say is, in terms of styles and principles, I'm not really one to get hung up on the system itself. If you're clear on what your style and key principles are, the formation and structure of the team shouldn't change the look of it completely. What I would say is I went with a back five. When you're looking at opponents of Ipswich and Leicester's level and then going to play them away from home, you can obviously look at defensive stability that the strength that system provides. But what I would point out about the game against Huddersfield at home, I was looking for a bit more continuity as we had just played that formation 3 days before. What I was doing at the top end of the pitch by putting 2 strikers and a number 10 in Zion Fleming on, I was trying to put goals on the pitch. Between Bradshaw and Fleming last year, they've got over 30 goals, and Kevin Nisbet has been in a goal-scoring run of form right now. I felt they're getting the balance of getting all 3 on the pitch together, and then they still ensuring we had enough protection and stability behind them. I felt that was the best way to go, and I would echo that in the future. If we go over back 5 again, and you have someone like Brook Norton-Cuffy at right wing back, you do slightly relieve the defensive responsibilities they have. They have to be less diligent in their recovery because they have a third centre-back behind them. And I knew at some point we would have Joe Bryan on the pitch, and we've been looking forward to seeing the impact he has on the team. Although people can look at a back 5 and wing-backs and look at the defensive connotations of that, I'm actually saying you can be very aggressive and attack with that still, and that was my approach on Saturday. And we had less shots than Huddersfield, and we scored the same amount of goals as them. We only scored 1 goal. Yeah. So, there you go. Now, again, Joe Edwards, Millwall head coach. This is from the londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Millwall boss Edwards. Incredibly busy festive fixture schedule has to be factored into training time. Joe Edwards has described Millwall's Christmas fixture schedule as incredibly busy and admits that has to be factored into the time spent on the training pitch. The Lions are winless in 6 championship matches and head to Stoke City on Saturday. Millwall follow up with a home game against QPR on Boxing Day, before hosting Norwich on December 29th and then going to Bristol City on New Year's Day. The Lions do have a full week to prepare for a Stoke side under new management after the appointment of Stephen Schumacher as head coach on Tuesday. I've been a coach for many years and I'm very hands-on, so I do really relish the time to work on the training pitch, particularly when you're trying to give a team a bit of your own identity as well, Edwards told the South London Press. I've really felt there's been a real challenge in the last few weeks. It's more noticeable when things aren't going great, the more you have a setback on the pitch in terms of your level of performance or another disappointing result. You're even more keen to get out and get your hands dirty to try and address it. This week we will use it as best we can. I'd say that in terms of the way I like us to play, it does involve a certain kind of speed and intensity to what we want to be about. Although we have got a full week now, when you look at the squad and the players who've been playing, you still have to weigh it up, and we've come off the back of a very hectic period. I've got to be careful I don't go straight in at the deep end this week and keep working them too hard, because we're also to hit a ridiculously busy fixture period. That festive period and how close 4 games are, in my opinion, it's unnecessary as well. But I want them going into it fresh. As much as I like to hammer them with as much work as I can this week, I've also got to be careful so they go into those games as fresh as possible. It still doesn't feel anything like a full week would in July or August in terms of time spent on the training pitch. I'm looking at the schedule for January and February, and I don't think we've got a midweek game. So to give us 4 games where we've got 2 days turnaround in between each one, from Stoke to Bristol City, I get that we want games for people to go over this period, but I'll also say that when times are tough for people financially in terms of transport, there's probably only so many games you need to go on in the space of 8 days. And then there's this quality of the product that people are seeing. You're looking at groups of players that are stretched and at higher risk of injury. It's just 1 game too many. For example, that Norwich game could easily be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday in January or February, and it would be fine. It's incredibly busy. What it does as well with the density of games, it adds problems when you get someone like Casper out. If he was out in January or February, he's probably going to miss 7 or 8 games. When he's out in this period, he's probably going to end up missing 12 or so. So it really compounds it. So here you go, Joe Edwards moaning about the fixture schedule, moaning that he doesn't have enough time on the training pitch with the players. Well, that's the reality of the Championship game. This isn't your under 21s team. This isn't your under 18s team where you had a full week to go. This is how it is. And you've got to figure out how to deal with that. Now, yesterday, did you see that video I made yesterday? We found out that Casper De Norre using space age technology to get fit. And we're going to have a little look at that now. Because here we go, Alterg Gravity Treadmill. What the hell is that? Well, this is what it is. You basically run in a bag. It looks like Bouncy Castle, but you, instead of being on top of it, you're inside of it. I don't know what that does, though. I mean, what does that actually do? Because I think you're still running on the treadmill. So, what would being pumped full of air do? I don't really know what that's supposed to do. It's supposed to, like, lift your feet. Why don't you just run in the swimming pool? I'm not too sure about that, mate. But apparently this is good. So here you go. Let's look on the right hand side one. So the Alterg Pro Anti-Gravity Treadmill offers elite athletes the ultimate in injury recovery and training. Combines NASA differential air pressure technology, top of the line slat belt treadmill, real time gait data, and live video feedback. So there you go. Look at that. Look at that. I imagine that's the one that Casper De Norre's on. Alterg Pro. So there you go. He's walking or running on that to keep his, I assume, to keep his leg muscles tuned up while it heals. I assume. Yeah. How does it work? A precise air calibration system based on the user's actual body weight to change what's possible in rehab and training, using a pressurized air chamber to uniformly reduce gravitational load and body weight in precise 1% increments. Alterg enables patients and athletes to move unrestricted and pain-free, restoring and building muscle strength, range of motion, balance, function and fitness. No other unweighting technology offers as much precision, accuracy and comfort. I think they used to do this back in the day, but they had like straps, and they would be kind of lifted up, and you would have to, you'd be suspended, and you'd kind of run in midair, sort of. So I guess it just kind of lifts you off the ground a little bit and stops you from just like banging hard on the treadmill. So you can run lighter. Yeah. So there you go. That's what Casper De Norre's doing. Nice. Now, talking about the Stoke game, they got a new manager, as was mentioned in the previous piece, Stephen Shoemaker. Stoke named new boss ahead of Millwall Crunch Crash. So, are they going to get a boost here? Stoke City have named Plymouth Argyle boss. So the Plymouth Argyle boss has bowed out of Plymouth and gone to Stoke. That's an interesting one. So Stoke have named Plymouth Argyle boss Stephen Schumacher as their head coach ahead of their game against Millwall this weekend. This is from the londonnewsonline.co.uk. The 39-year-old has replaced Alex Neil and penned a 3.5-year deal at Bet365 Stadium. Schumacher replaced Ryan Lowe after he left to join Preston and took Plymouth back to the Championship at the end of last season. Plymouth are just 3 points above Stoke in the Championship table. Joe Edwards Millwall, 20th in the Championship, head to 90th place Stoke as they look to end a run of 6 games without a win. The values that resonate with me I don't really care about that. There's a quote from Schumacher. That's an interesting one, isn't it? What's going on there? Does it have links to the club? Why did they go for him? Kind of weird. I don't know. Obviously, we've seen Michael Beale go to Sunderland. He's gone there, so that would be interesting to see how he does there, because obviously he was one of the first names linked with the Millwall job. So if he ends up getting Sunderland promoted, you looking at it and see, what we could have had. Oh dear. But yeah, a little weird one here. I don't know what's going on there. So they've taken Plymouth Argyle's boss. Maybe he wanted to go get away from Plymouth. Plymouth's a long way, isn't it? A lot of travelling. I don't know if he's from. I doubt he's from that area. But yeah, there you go. So they have a new manager. Will they get a new manager bounce against us on the other day? I don't know. But there you go. That's it for today. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.